Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Canadian Football Central. CFL content for the fans, by the fans. And we got our last Week 5 review coming up as the Winnipeg Blue Bombers defeat the Hamilton Tiger Cats by a score of 14-13 in a game where neither starting quarterback could stay healthy. And so before we get, I guess, real into the weeds of things, opening comments, Rick?
I don't know if you're going to say it, but I will say it. On behalf of the channel, Bo Levi Mitchell, speedy recovery.
I'll say that to both Bo Levi Mitchell and Zach Collaros, although Bo Levi Mitchell is definitely in a worse position than Collaros.
Like when Bo Levi Mitchell went down, like you could hear a pin drop in that stadium.
Oh yeah, well it was.
And then on top of it, they had a 18-minute delay because you can't play a football game without an ambulance there, so we had to wait for another ambulance to come
to get there. Yeah,
there.
Actually, another thing I do want to mention, just because I've seen not a ton, but I've seen a little bit of bickering online, so I want to set the record straight. These injuries, I am not blaming.
Accidents.
They are freak accidents. I am not blaming. I can't remember who it was who hit Collaros.
Stubblefield.
I'm not blaming Stubblefield for him hitting Collaros. I'm not blaming Serezna for his hit on Bo. Both hits, completely fine.
You know what though?
It's just a situation of.
From the stuff that I've seen, I've never seen one person blame Stubblefield and one person blames Serezna.
I know. I know some people that would. I know. You know what it is? Is there are some people I know that it would be better if they just shut up. But
no.
I wanted to make it clear.
So what frustrates me the most, and I'm gonna go on a bit of a rant here before we break into this game.
Oh, if only we had an intro. Rick's rant. Dun, 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 dun.
I know Carter likes to do rants for Winnipeg. And
I love doing rants for Winnipeg.
He's never seen me go on a rant.
That's bullshit. I've absolutely no. Time out. That's bullshit. That is absolute wee woo bullshit alarms going on. You want to see Rick go on a rant? No. Hold on a second. Rick's just said he hasn't gone on a rant. I would like somebody to check on our video last year when we did the CFL awards, and I want you to tell me if this situation of Rick going on a rant is true or not.
Okay. Let me rephrase.
And in case you want more, you can go to the year prior and see if he goes on a rant too.
But I mean, as far as the game goes, I've never been on a rant as far as the game goes. But for the love of God, people, can we stop running our mouths about, Trey Ford, our season's done, blah, 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 blah. Listen, Bo had healthy ankle surgery this morning. If it's anything, again, I didn't see the injury up close because it was on the other end of the field. If it's anything like his last injury that he had, he was out for 8 games. You know, maybe
was it an ankle injury or?
Yeah, it was an ankle. He broke his ankle.
Okay.
So that was in 2023. So worst case scenario, he's out for 10 games. That gives us 15. 3 before the playoffs.
I wouldn't say worst case scenario. I would not say worst case scenario. He's out for the season and playoffs. Worst case scenario.
What I've read and seen.
Yeah,
he's going to be coming back because the team wouldn't make the comments that they made if he was. They could have just said, okay, he's going to be back for next season.
Well, to be fair, they may not know that at this point. Like when I say worst case scenario, I'm saying when it comes due to the nature of the injury, when you're dealing with leg injuries, when you're dealing with ankles, Achilles, knees, that region, there's a certain level of unpredictability. So the thing is, the fact that they haven't said, okay, he's out for the season, means that they think there's a chance he could be back. And I'm not saying that it's likely that he's gone for the season. But I mean, I'll put it this way. Chad Kelly, He had gotten hurt in playoffs. He had this whole offseason to recover going into the next season. We thought he'd be back. He didn't play the entire season. And I'm not saying that this is the same injury. It's not. But I'm just saying, like, the only reason I'm mentioning this, Rick, is just to say that injuries can be unpredictable. So I'm going to say worst case scenario for Bo, he is out for the rest of the season and playoffs. Does that mean it's the most likely scenario? No. But I'm just saying it's possible.
My whole point is, listen, Trey Ford's only gotten, like, he hasn't even played with the first team yet. Well, not even in preseason.
I will say, if anyone's freaking out about it, now I understand, like, obviously you're, like, upset that Bo's down and you're going to Trey Ford.
No, I'm not upset. My whole point.
Like, no. Like, in the sense of, I understand people who are upset in the sense of, like, I don't think anyone disputes that Bo is a better quarterback than Trey Ford. Like, obviously. I don't think anyone disputes that. Now, the one thing I will say, though, is that I remember there being a lot of excitement in Hamilton when Trey Ford was signed. Because it was kind of like, well, if, Bo's out the door, this is a guy that maybe can, take on the torch going into the future. And so I guess to that, it's kind of like now this idea that it's all doom and gloom because Trey Ford has that torch a little bit earlier than planned. It's like, give him a bit of time, Maybe
my whole thing is,
can get something out of him.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying is people need to relax, take a chill pill. The season's not over. Everyone's bitching about the season being over. The season's not over. Milanovic brought out and Cavillo. He's rejuvenated Bo's career. So, Bo, you have a pocket passer. Trey Ford, you have a dual threat. They're two different kinds of styles of quarterbacks. Give them time to be able to play with the starters. And I'm sure over time, you will see a difference in Trey Ford.
That's fair.
Anyways, did you want to get into the game?
Yeah, so, I mean, on the Bomber side of things, Winnipeg was forced to go to Elgersma when Collaros went down. Collaros had a rough game. He went 5 for 7. He threw a pick, and I didn't like it. I'm going to be honest. Wasn't a fan of that. Elgersma
not on the first play anyways.
Went 11 for 15, 86 passing yards. He would get himself a touchdown with no interceptions. Now, I will say, little bit of an asterisk next to that touchdown, and the reason why I'm saying that is I don't mean to be that guy to downplay, but the passing touchdown we're referring to was a fucking jet sweep. So, this is not the hitting him into the corner to Nick Dembski. So I wouldn't hold a ton of weight on that touchdown because it literally was almost a handoff. And so just that's more of a credit to Tommy Condell and the play calling than it is a beautiful corner touchdown pass.
And again, everyone has a different way of giving an evaluation. Mm-hmm. But from what I've seen from some people. Yeah, I know you guys brought in Drew Brown and stuff like that. Some people were not pleased with Elgersma. Because in the end, and I'm just going to call, I don't want to say the word because people will take it out of context. But at the same time, if Brady Oliveira doesn't get those last 70 yards in the last 2.5 minutes, Brady Oliveira didn't have a good game either.
Here's if you're taking away the specific sample size, then yeah, I'd say overall Brady plays fine. He gets 84 rushing yards.
No. But what I'm saying is,
if you're getting rid of that, yeah.
If we go and with what everyone's used to seeing, getting 120 yards, him getting so many receiving yards. Okay, we kept your team to, and I hate to say it, 127 yards.
No, that's true. And now one thing I will say, to be fair, and this is where I'm gonna also cut Elgersma a little bit of slack here. You can tell that, and this is why I'm not worried about Elgersma necessarily, in the sense of that you can tell that the play calling was a little restricted with Elgersma in the sense of that Tommy Condell is like, okay, this is a rookie QB coming in, playing backup. Now, the potential of this guy is incredible. But do you put him into his first regular season CFL game and you have him throw a fucking 55-yard pass down the side? No, you don't.
Not.
You play it safe. You play with some of the short passes. Get him comfortable with things before you throw anything huge. So they didn't end up doing anything huge in this game. And that's fine. This is why if you look at the receiving yards, leading was Ontario Wilson with 2 receptions for 39 yards. Now he gets himself a touchdown, but 39 receiving yards to be leading your receiving group is not much at all.
Yeah.
And it's because they played a safe offensive game. They didn't go for anything crazy bold. Get Elgersma comfortable with some of the small stuff, some of the basics, and then you can start incorporating some of those long bombs. It's not like he's not capable of that. He's fucking whipping it in practice, and if you see some of his highlights from Wilfrid Laurier, you know he's certainly capable of it. But doing that in youth sports, doing that in practice, doing it against men, not boys, men, in a professional football game, in his first one of the regular season in the CFL, that's a whole other ball game. And so I think in terms of getting him really into things, I think they're just being kind of cautious about it. So I'm curious to see if moving forward, if Collaros is out a little bit longer, I'm not sure how long he'll be out for. If they feel that Drew Brown is confident enough in the playbook, they decide to have him come in and then essentially go Brown, Elgersma, Perkins. I'm assuming they would probably go to that if Collaros is still out, but we will have to see.
Quick question. Did you watch the game or no? Like, fully?
I didn't, sit down and fully watch every play.
Okay.
Play-by-play, but I kept a lot of tabs on it.
Okay. Did you see the Collaros injury?
Yes.
Okay. Because I didn't actually see... I just saw... I stumbled field tackle him, and that was it. I didn't see anything.
I know some people that were saying that they thought it was slightly high, but I was kind of I don't know. It didn't seem too bad. This wasn't like CJ Revis dropping the crown of his helmet into fucking Collaros' head we saw the other year.
My question to you is, because I know people are saying when he tried to get up, he told his teammates, give me a second, I gotta take a breather getting up. Do you, and again, we're both not professionals and everything, do you think that was a concussion?
I'm gonna be honest, that's impossible for us to tell. That.
No, I know, but
and here's why I'm gonna say it. Concussion symptoms sometimes are apparent immediately, sometimes they're not. You can get hit really hard and you feel fine, and you get up and play for the next 10 to 20 to 30 minutes. You can play the rest of the game like that. And you don't know until the next day the extent of things. But I'm just... And sometimes you feel it right away. Sometimes you'll feel hurt really hard in the head right away, and then you'll rest the rest of the game, and you wake up the next day, and you feel fine. And I'm not just saying that concussions are based on how you're feeling. They're not. I'm not a doctor.
No,
However,
I know.
Concussions... it's not as obvious as it is with, this is why concussion protocol, concussion testing is a thing, because I'll put it this way. We knew Bo Levi Mitchell's ankle was broken. There are some stuff like broken bones that you just know.
As soon as he tackled Serezna and he grabbed his ankle, I knew for a fact.
When Serezna tackled him, you mean?
Yeah.
But yes. But exactly, and so I'm not sure where he sits with that.
So my other question to you, as far as the Winnipeg side of things is, it was a 14-13 win for you guys. What do you think of your defense this game versus the past games?
I think that the last 2 games have been really good defensively for Winnipeg. I've been a much bigger fan of the way the defense has played. And it's not because they've made this groundbreaking change. It's that there's one aspect of their game that they've ironed out. And when I say ironed out, I don't mean completely and that you never see it in the game. But the number one fucking problem for this defense in games past, not last game, not this game, but prior to that, in the first 2 games, was that they were so goddamn reactive. Is that they would wait for the receiver to catch it, and then they'd make a play and tackle him there. And sure, he wouldn't get 15 yards after catch, and they wouldn't give up a 45-yard pass as often, but it would be like you'd give up 5 and then 10 and then 5 and then 6 and then 5 and then 10 and then 13 and then 12 and then 5 and then 6. And then it didn't matter because they'd fucking find their way to the end zone doing it that way. It would just take longer. Whereas now it's like, do you need to jump in front of every ball and go for the interception? No, but get a hand in there. If a guy's going to make a catch, get a hand in there and cause problems. Do something. Yeah. If he's going to make that catch, don't make it so he can make the catch, tuck, and then you can tackle him. Make it difficult. And that's what they've been doing. Is they've just, it's such a simple concept, and it just means that you have to play a little bit more aggressive on it, a little bit tighter in their coverage. And there are risks associated with that, and it won't always go perfect. But what they were doing before was not working. So they needed to make an adjustment, and I think the Bombers have made an adjustment. And this is why I held out on Jordan Younger, in the sense of is that I think Jordan Younger at times has been a fantastic defensive coordinator. And I understand that there was some complaints and people saying, we should fire him because he had 2 bad games or whatever. And it's like, hey, get a grip. Like it's been a little bit. It's not like we saw a whole. If a whole season went by and he did nothing, and we got the Jason Hogan just doing the same shit and expecting a different result, then I'd say fine, go and fire him out of the cannon that they fire off after touchdowns at Princess Auto Stadium. But that's not the case. He made the adjustment. He made the adjustments. And so I'm fine with the way that Jordan Younger has managed this defense and the way that he's adjusted accordingly. As I think it's something that too often we see coaches that get a little bit stubborn and just try to, it's going to work. Just keep doing it. It's going to work. It'll eventually work. It'll eventually work out. And then it doesn't, It's Chris Jones coaching, as we'll call it.
Yeah. The other thing that I've noticed before we get over to the Hamilton side of things is, I don't know what it is, but Hamilton seems to know Moxie's weaknesses, and they always seem to go after him, and it always seems to work. I don't know what it is, but
I know what it is. It's called, they used to play against him in practice every fucking day of the week. That's what it is.
No, but I mean, even the first time the two teams played, they attacked Wheatfall against them.
Yeah.
And then, Bo had 200 and some odd yards before he went out, but it's just they kept on going after it, and it's just okay, you would think he would have gotten better over the years. And one last thing I wanted to mention, Tim White had 3 drops.
Rick wanted to see one of 2 things today. He wanted, in this game, I should say, not today, but in this game, he wanted to see Tommy Condell with a loss on his record, which he didn't get, or he wanted to see Tim White
saw that once this year.
Or he wanted to see Tim White drop the ball, and so he got one. He went 1 for 2 on his bingo card.
Yes. So for the Hamilton side, Bo went 18 for 29, 228 yards, 1 touchdown. There could have been a few extra touchdowns had the players have caught the ball, but unfortunately that wasn't the case. Trey Ford, 3 for 7, 12 yards. I wish he did better. But other than that, Roundtree, you guys did a good job on stopping him, because I would like to see more than 9 carries and 45 yards. Can we stop just thinking Lawler's the king of everything? He went 5 for 11. If you've noticed the past couple of games, we have other people spread the ball around than just Kenny Lawler. Wheatfall had 2 for 4. Curley went 2 for 3. But they kind of did spread the ball around, but I don't know.
I see.
And Winton McManus, you know what? For his return, he didn't have any sacks or interceptions or anything like that. But sometimes you don't need that in a game. Like, he had 5 tackles.
Yeah.
Like, if you had to guess on a team, would you have guessed that Hamilton would have kept Winnipeg to 14 points? Probably not.
Yeah.
And I'm sure no one would have guessed that Winnipeg would keep Hamilton to 13 points.
Yeah. No.
Like, this was the trap game of all games so far this
Yep.
year.
And for the first time in, I think, over 50 years or something, it was we saw two former U Sports. 1960. For the first time since 1960, two former U Sports quarterbacks, throwing it down against each other.
I will say, though, as politely as I will give credit to Bomber fans because not all team fans are a-holes sometimes. But Bomber fans, when you go to other stadiums, you're very respectful.
Hey.
So I will give the flowers where they are.
Hey, there we go.
Like, I was talking to fans, like, we all congratulated each other, on a good game.
Bomber fans that were at the Hamilton game.
They felt bad for Bo Levi Mitchell, like.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm just saying, it's good to see, like, you had
we can all
fans.
be friends. And actually, this is one thing I will say I love about Labor Day. As much as obviously there will be some people that get drunk and they fight and they're stupid.
Make an ass out of themselves.
And make an ass out of them. Exactly. That's one thing I love about Labor Day and Banjo Bowl is I think for the most part, despite the fact that it's the biggest and best rivalry in the CFL, and I will die on that hill. It's still, I think, incredibly respectful. I love going to Sask for Labor Day and the hospitality that they give, and love having them in Winnipeg for the Banjo Bowl the following week. So we love that. But I think that's pretty much all I have with the Bombers having a 14-13 victory over Hamilton, and we'll see where it goes in this coming week. Is there anything else you got there, Rick?
No, sir.
All right. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Make sure you guys leave a like, share it around, and subscribe if you haven't already. Also, if you guys haven't, make sure you guys join our Discord. Link in the description below to our Discord. We discuss all things CFL, NHL, all sorts of sports stuff. So make sure you guys go there and check it out. Yeah, without further ado, we'll see you guys next time.